So, layer underneath layer, there are many resources within us. Knowing about those resources, bringing them into practice, can help us in staying motivated, and also putting those resources into practice can be a source of motivation for others. So, what is our real identity, and what are those resources within us which can be utilized, and how to utilize them will be the focus of discussion in this next topic. And with us we have Sister Husain. As you can see from her profile, she is practicing Raj Yoga meditation since her childhood. Born and brought up in different parts of the country, she has done her MBA from Narsi Monji, Mumbai, worked as a business analyst for several years in an MNC. She is an IT professional. She is also looking after the social media, the website, and our YouTube and our peace of mind. She anchors a lot of shows. She's also a corporate trainer. She's also representing Brahma Kumaris in the interfaith forums, because we have a lot of services happening in the interfaith forums as well, connecting everything, bringing them under one, bringing all the branches of the same tree, connecting them to the root. So she's also contributing to that front. So without much ado, now I would request Sister Husain to please take forward the next topic of discussion with us.
Thank you for that kind introduction. And Om Shanti, and welcome to this session. So you're all fresh? Yes? So, जैसे कि Sister Vidatri shared that we will check and connect with our own selves, right? And you are also well read, well educated, well placed. You know who you are, right? Yes? And so therefore, why are we having this session? If you know who you are, then why are we having this session? For you? So what is that other dimension that we can explore? And that exploration has to be in moments of silence. So I was thinking, let us spend a few moments in the beginning to completely relax ourselves and connect with ourselves. Shall we do that? Okay, so I would request you to sit back, keep your phones away, preferably. Keep your back straight, hands open on your thighs. I'm just going to give you a short commentary to physically relax yourself and also to mentally connect with yourself. So just sit back with your feet flat on the ground, your back straight, your palms open, facing upwards. You can take the support of the chair and keep things away. If you want, you keep your eyes open. When your eyes are open, you just rest your vision anywhere in front of you. And if you want, you can even close your eyes. So, just for a few moments, I take my mind away from everything else, all that's happening in my mind, things I have to do, where I have to go. I bring myself in the present. I also just ensure that I'm breathing naturally and deeply. So I want you to take a few deep breaths in and out, in through the nose and out through the mouth. So gently breathe in through the nose and out through the mouth. And as you're doing that, as you're breathing out, you let go of any stress that you're carrying. And as you breathe in, experience peace. One more time. As you breathe out, you let go of any tension, any worries. And as you breathe in, experience calm. Once again, as you breathe out, let go of any anger or frustration or irritation that you have. And as you are breathing in, experience peace. And as you do that, gently bring your attention towards your body to ensure that your body is also relaxed. So consciously release the muscles and relax yourself, your toes and ankles, both your legs. Loosen your stomach, your chest, your back and spine. Both your hands, completely loosen the muscles. Drop your shoulders, relax your neck, and move on to your face. Completely relax your face. Your chin, lips, nose, eyes, eyebrows, forehead, completely relaxed. And I want you to create a gentle smile on your face for your own self, because you deserve to be happy for your own self. You deserve to smile at your own self. And in this state, just take a step inwards and visualize, see yourself as a beautiful point of light in the center of the forehead. Peaceful, happy, and free. This is the real me. Experience that from your forehead. Vibrations of peace are coming and spreading all around you. For the next few moments, hold yourself like this, experiencing the peace that you carry within yourself. And very gradually, in your time, you come back, but don't do anything else. Maintain this. Now, how many of you experienced peace? Just raise your hand. And next question is, how many of you would like to stay in silence for 30 more seconds? Okay, so we just stay in deep silence for the next 30 seconds, and I experience the peace that I carry within myself, the power that I carry within myself. Just sit in silence and see yourself as this being of light in the center of the forehead. And very gradually and slowly, you come back into the awareness without doing anything and hold on to whatever you have experienced. So your eyes are open in the awareness of what you have experienced. So quickly, with a show of hands, and as you are checking your own mind, we will check how many of us experienced peace, even if it was for a short time. Raise your hands. Okay, just with a show of hands. How many of you experienced lightness or happiness? Anybody? Okay. How many of you experienced that your anger is lessened, or you're not angry anymore? If there was any, just raise your hand, okay? 2 people. How many of you experienced stability, or let's say more power or more concentration? And how many of you saw that you had a lot of thoughts? Don't know what was going on, but right now the quantity of thoughts have reduced. So you're still thinking. You're not it's not that you're not thinking, but now you're thinking purposefully and less. Yes? Anything else? Yes. And how many of you felt fresh and relaxed? Okay. That is always there. And how much time did we do? How many hours, or how much time we invested in order to bring about that experience, or just to experience it? A few minutes, right? Not hours. And how much effort did you make? You're sitting comfortably on a chair, wearing those same clothes, work clothes, and on that same chair. And how much money did you spend right now? Nothing. So in order to actually experience peace and stability and lightness and freshness and purposeful thoughts, I don't have to invest a lot of time. I don't have to do much. And I don't need much resources, equipments, or money. What I need is a pause. And the moment I do that, I begin to connect with my own self. Make sense? Yes? तो ये हम समझते हैं कि who am I then? What is my real identity? Yes, we are exploring ourselves, right? So when I experience this peace and happiness and all these things, where did I experience? Which part of the body? Okay. So, okay. Anywhere else? Can you store peace in the mind? And what exactly is mind? We'll explore further. Can we say all of these things are spiritual or material? Spiritual, right? Which means there is a spiritual entity. I am a spiritual entity holding on these things all the time. But when I identify with my physical self, I get into the chaos. Yes? So when I explore myself and I ask myself this question, who are you? What do I answer? What would you answer? आप क्या जवाब देते हैं? Who am I? I'm an IFS officer. What do you answer? Depends, right? Who depends who's asking. Now we need to realize that question really. Well, I have said about my name, about my, of course, my general identity, where I stay, and I then boil down to that, the basic thing, I'm just a human being, right? And human being also is made of 2 things, the human part, which is the body, and the being, which is the soul. And together you have a human being, right? I need to identify who am I out of the 2. So am I the body or am I the soul? Am I the material or am I the living energy? Who am I? So we give this example, you're right, we're both. We give this example of a car and a driver. Let's say you've got to go to the airport, right? And you're driving a car, you need a driver and a car. Both are important. You have a BMW, let's say a big car, but the driver is sleepy, has not had, hasn't have his food, tired. There's another car, a Maruti. The driver is active and alert. Which car will I choose? You have to, your journey, you need the car for sure. But then what is the deciding factor? The driver, not the car per se. क्योंकि कार कितनी भी अच्छी हो, अगर ड्राइवर ठीक नहीं है, तो you can't have a good journey, you can't reach your destination properly. Similarly, the body, which is my physical identity, is the car. And the soul is the driver, the living entity, the spiritual energy. I need this body to function, but if I really want to enjoy the ride, then I have to take care of the driver. I need to identify myself as the soul. Does it make sense? Yes? Shall I move forward? So agar hum say, I realize it, not just say, but I realize that I'm not just my physical identity of name or what I do, where I live, but actually I'm a spiritual being. I'm a peaceful soul. I am a happy soul. And I carry this all the time. Now, as you mentioned about the mind, so there are 3 faculties of the soul. The body has got 5 faculties. देखने की शक्ति, सूंघने की शक्ति, the tongue, hearing, the skin, and all of it is here. And this part of the brain, it controls everything else. So if the driver is driving the car, where should the driver sit? In the driving seat, where you have all the control. So similarly, if I am the soul, I'm a being of light, a point of light, where should I sit in the body? Where's the seat of the soul? Here, where we say the third eye or the tilak, here. Because this is where you have all the sense organs, and this part of the brain, makes the whole body move. So I, the soul, am sitting here, behind the eyes, looking through the eyes, listening through the ears, and speaking through the mouth, and yet I'm different. Okay? So the 3 faculties of the soul are the mind, the intellect, and the sanskars. Okay? अब mind क्या है? Mind is not brain. Mind is not a brain. Mind मन है, दिमाग नहीं है. दिमाग क्या है? It is part of the physical, the engine. And मन क्या है? It is part of the metaphysical, the mind. Okay? Now just to understand it, mind is basically our thoughts. The intellect, जिसको हम बुद्धि कहते हैं, it is our decision making, निर्णय शक्ति. और संस्कार क्या है? It's like a register. It records everything. Right? So I, the soul, have got these 3 faculties of the mind, the intellect, and the sanskar. मन एक स्क्रीन की तरह है. बुद्धि कहती है ये सोचो, तो मन सोचता है. और जो कुछ भी आप में रिकॉर्डेड है, उस अनुसार हम सोचते हैं. ठीक है? तो जब हमें अपना इनर मैकेनिज्म पता चल जाता है, then we are actually able to control our mind and lead our thoughts. Okay? ठीक है? So we'll just try to understand our real inner mechanism by an example. आप सब कहाँ से आए हैं? दिल्ली से? आप में से कोई दिल्ली से? सब बाहर से आए? ठीक है, अलग अलग स्थानों से आए. So let's do a simple mental exercise. I want you to sit back straight again because here we are doing exploration. Okay? और जो मैं आपसे कहूँ वो आपको देखना है. ठीक है? Simple. But I need your full attention. ठीक है? You can have your eyes open, not a big deal. Now, what I want you to see is, I want you to see the main gate of your home. आप जहाँ से भी आए हैं. From wherever you have come, see the main gate. Stand in front of that. Can you see? All of you? Okay? ठीक है. Now open the gate, enter your home, go through the door, find your living area and look around. You can see the things which are kept there. Now find your most comfortable place to sit, whether it is your chair or your room, where you're most comfortable, your favorite spot at your home, where you feel very relaxed. So just sit there. And now you see that right in front of you there is a cup and it is hot. Okay? It is hot because you can actually see the steam coming out of the cup. Now you hold that cup, pick it up, bring it towards your nose, smell it, and take a sip of whatever is there in the cup. Okay? And put back the cup and come back into this hall. Okay? All right. So, how many of you saw the gate of your door? So, where did you go? Where's your home? You went to Lucknow. And where did you go? Dehradun. And you? Dehradun. You? Lucknow. Okay. So, many people went to Lucknow. Okay. Where did you go? Dehradun, Lucknow. Anybody else? Ujjain. Okay. कोई और दूर गया हो? छत्तीसगढ़. Hyderabad चले गए. ठीक है. Further. So you all saw the main gate. You saw what was in your living room, right? Did you find your place to sit, your favorite place to sit? And did you feel when you sat there the way you feel? Yes or no? Yes, okay. How many of you saw the cup? And cup nahi tha. Acha. And how many of you felt that the cup was hot? Raise your hand, it was hot. And how many of you smelled it? Kisne sunga? And you could feel the aroma. You can smell the aroma, right? And how many of you tasted it? तो क्या पी के आए आप जरा बताएंगे? ग्रीन टी. आपने क्या पिया? चाय पिया. कौन सा पानी पिया? जीरा धनिया पानी पिया. अच्छा, आप बताएं आपने क्या पिया? कुछ किसी ने कॉफी पिया आपने? जिंजर हनी टी. कन्वेंशनल चाय. ठीक है. आपने कुछ पिया? एनीबडी एल्स? वेरी नाइस. ताजमहल की टी ब्रांड भी था उसमें. वेरी नाइस. ब्रिलियंट. Okay, brilliant. See? So how nice it is. Just go to, without it flying, without spending a money, you can go to Lucknow and have tea, come back. And you did experience it, right? She actually smelled you can actually smell it. You felt it was hot also. Now another question is, when you were experiencing it, and you actually had this physical experience, did you have any waste thought? Was your mind wandering? Were you in a conflict? And were you saying, मुझे ये नहीं सोचना है, मुझे ये सोचना है? Were you doing that? So, what has happened? So the point is, what we are trying to understand is, why we did this is that we have the ability to lead our mind, basically. Once I understand my inner mechanism, of how my mind, intellect and sanskars are working. That's why we did this exercise. So what has basically happened is, जो कुछ भी अभी आपने देखा, सूंघा, जो भी कुछ आपने एक्सपीरियंस किया, ये सब आपने किया हुआ है. It is all recorded experiences. It is already recorded in I, the soul. Right? आपकी बुद्धि ने कहा मेन गेट को देखो. तो you have a recorded experience of the image. And on the screen of the mind, आपके मन ने आपको वही image दिखाई. So as your intellect was telling you, you were following it, right? So when the intellect and the mind are together, you have an experience. Make sense? And so when I understand that, I can use it in meditation and I can actually use to lead my mind in the way I want to. कई बार हम सोचते हैं मन तो घोड़ा है, पता नहीं क्या कर रहा है. नहीं, एक्चुअली आई हैव एन इंटेलेक्ट. मन का मैं मालिक हूँ, मैं आत्मा हूँ और मैं उसका मालिक हूँ. एंड आई कैन लीड इट इन द राइट डायरेक्शन. ठीक है? ओके, शैल आई मूव फॉरवर्ड? तो अब आपको पता है कि अब अपने मन को हम कैसे, बुद्धि को कैसे स्ट्रांग बनाए. माइंड को स्ट्रांग बनाना, उसके साथ मुझे बुद्धि को स्ट्रांग बनाना है. अगर हम बुद्धि की बात, यू नो, यू हैव दीज टू वॉइसेस, राइट? जैसे आपको कहा जाएगा ये करो, मन करेगा नहीं, छोड़ो, नहीं करते. अगर आपने मन की मानी तो वो क्या हो जाएगी? मन मानी. राइट? इफ यू विल जस्ट से मेरा मन करता है एंड आई विल डू दिस, तो क्या कहते हैं उसको? बट इफ यू लिसन टू योर डिवाइन इंटेलेक्ट, ज्ञान के हिसाब से, देन उसको कहा जाएगा कि आपने विजडम, आपने राइट चॉइसेस ली. सो बिकॉज बुद्धि इज ऑल्सो द डिसीजन मेकर. ठीक है? सो आई एम जस्ट गिविंग यू अ लिटिल एक्सपीरियंस ऑफ इट, लिटिल जस्ट अ स्नैपशॉट ऑफ द क्रक्स ऑफ इट. एंड लेट्स जस्ट मूव फॉरवर्ड. तो हमें अपने बारे में पता चला, अपने इनर मैकेनिज्म के बारे में पता चला. तो 3 फैकल्टीज कौन सी हैं? मन, बुद्धि और संस्कार. द माइंड, द इंटेलेक्ट एंड द संस्कार्स. एंड नाउ लेट्स जस्ट सी व्हाट हैपन्स of when I become soul conscious or body conscious. So let's just see what is consciousness. Why are we really doing it? Why should we do this? You know, why should you be doing it? There should be a purpose. There should be a reason for it. तो क्या effect होता है when I change my consciousness? And just to understand this, we say that whatever is my consciousness, that will lead me to think in that way, to feel in that way, which will lead me to position, to have an attitude like that, to see in that way, and finally to act, and then to create the world that I have created for myself. And so if I want to change the world that I have created for myself, you want to change the world? You know how many worlds are there? You don't know. If we are how many people? If we are, let's say, 20 people, then there are 21 worlds. One is the actual world, and each one has their own world. You may be living with 4 people. Same food, same house, everything. But each one has their own world. You're sitting at the same table, same every experience, but a different world. So how is it getting created? By my state of consciousness. Right? Yes? So if I want to change anything, I have to start changing with my state of consciousness. जिसको हम हिंदी में कहते हैं, जैसी हमारी स्मृति होती है वैसे हमारे विचार होते हैं, वैसी हमारी वृत्ति होती है, वैसे हमारी दृष्टि होती है, वैसे हमारी कृति होती है, और वैसी हमारी सृष्टि होती है. And that is like a vicious cycle, it goes on. So if I want to bring about any change in my world, so to say, वर्ल्ड को तो वर्ल्ड में चेंज कब आएगा? व्हेन आई एम चेंजिंग माई ओन इनर वर्ल्ड. ठीक है, द वे आई सी थिंग्स, द वे आई डू, then I can use this understanding. Like for example, there is a situation that my son disobeys me, and you can put any situation here. It could be about colleagues, it could be about anybody, any relationship, any situation. Okay? So if I begin with, if I have a physical identity, and what am I thinking? What is my consciousness at that time? I am a mother, I'm a father. Yes. And who's this person? Just the son. उसके साथ कोई adjective भी तो होगा ना? Or just my colleague, or with an adjective. Adjective भी होगा ना साथ में? क्या होगा? बता दीजिए. अच्छा है. कहना नहीं मान रहा लेकिन, है ना? So the thing is that whatever is my consciousness, I will feel. If I am thinking that I am a mother and this one is not listening to me, is disobedient, or let's say I'm a boss and this person is, doesn't listen to me, then what is the feeling that I have? I'll feel angry. And if I feel angry, then what is going to be my attitude? How will I place myself? I'll say, you have to listen to me. It is my way or the highway. I'm the boss, right? And if I feel that way, that I'm the boss and you have to listen to me, and how do I look at the person when that person appears? What will begin to happen? I'll see this person, good for nothing, has come back again. So he hasn't done anything, but this is how my vision transforms. And what is it that I'm going to do then? क्या करेंगे आप? अभी तो उसने कुछ नहीं किया. What are you going to do? You're going to give him another warning, another signal, threaten, or do something like that. And what is going to happen? That person will start listening to you? They will start helping and cooperating with you when you will warn them? Chances are that the relationship could become more complicated and more frustrated, and more you'll feel this, I'm the boss and this is good for nothing. Yes? And this is the vicious cycle which keeps playing, to the point sometimes it really starts to affect our life. So where should we start to make the change? Generally we try to change at the action. कि ऐसा मैं नहीं करूँगा. ऐसे ही होता है ना, that I will not do this. But क्या होता है? देखकर again that action comes out. सिर्फ देखना ही होता है and the same reactions come out. So if I actually want to bring about a change in my world, according to this, where should I begin? With my consciousness. Okay. So when I change my consciousness to, let's say, being soul conscious, so the situation remains the same, but now I think I'm a pure soul, I'm a pure energy. And so therefore that person is also, who's not listening to me, he is also a pure soul. ऐसे ही है ना? And it is a fact, he is like that, he or she. And when I'm in that consciousness, my thoughts, earlier I was angry, right now I'll not be angry, but I'll have compassion. Why is he not listening? What's the situation at his home? We are all coming with a story, a package, no? We don't know the backgrounds. Kya ho raha hai? What is the situation? Right? And my compassion will lead me to understanding person. I try to understand that person who's in front of me. Not just a one way, but trying to understand his position. And if I have this understanding, now when I see him, I just don't see a good for nothing, but I see what is the value that person is bringing onto the table. If he's in your team, he's definitely bringing some value. कुछ तो कर रहा होगा वो. So I can begin to see the value. And the action is not now threatening, but trying to understand in a conversation. You know what a conversation is? Do you know? What is a conversation? Yes. Conversation doesn't mean speaking nicely, the same thing. But conversation means waiting to listen to what the other person is saying, trying to understand and share what we have. That is a conversation. And उससे क्या होगा? आशा क्या होगी? उम्मीद क्या है? उम्मीद ये होगी कि कम से कम आप तो उसको समझ पाएंगे. And the relationship or the thing, it becomes better. And if I do it right, it's not like a one-way thing, but if I eventually work towards it, I can actually improve my own world. I can't do anything with your world, but I can definitely improve my world for myself, because that's the world that I live in all the time. Does that make sense? Yes? So I'll just pause here before we move forward towards the last bit. Any questions, anything that you have, and we will take it up. Otherwise, I'll have moved towards the last slide. Any questions related to the first bit? There is a concept called ignorance is bliss. Yeah. हाँ बिल्कुल, लेकिन कई बार जो ये केस है, ये वो होता है जिसमें आप इग्नोर कर नहीं पाते. वो आपके पास रोज आएंगे, रोज रह रहे हैं, रोज यू हैव टू फेस दैट. समटाइम्स आई एम अनेबल टू इग्नोर. Yeah. Yes. Right. And this is where, right, you're right, absolutely. आप ठीक कह रहे हैं. इसीलिए when, जैसे अभी इससे पहले what we did, how we began this session, हमने अभी जो शुरुआत करी थी वो क्या करा था? We connected with our own self. And when I paused and connected with my own self, what is it that I experienced? Peace and happiness and love and fewer thoughts. And if this is the state which I am able to maintain every day, even for a short time, it will have an effect on, you see the whole cycle, on my actions also. तो वो जो आप कह रहे हैं आएगा, वो उसको ठीक करने के लिए I need to connect with myself as a soul. नहीं, it will not happen like that. आप करके देखिए, ऐसा नहीं होगा. It is not like that. It is not time bound. There is nothing like that. Because जो आपको क्रोध आता है वो टाइम से थोड़ी ना आता है, घड़ी देख के. आपको सोच के आता है, देख के नहीं आता, उसको सोच के आता है. ठीक है. तो आप कर लीजिएगा टाइम से भी, ऐसा भी कर सकते हैं. कई बार डिफिकल्ट सिचुएशन में प्रिपेयर करना होता है, कर सकते हैं ऐसा. यू कैन डू इट एक्चुअली, यू कैन. तो उसका है कि हम अपने को कैसे ठीक रखें. वेयर आई हैव अ चांस आई कैन डू दैट. But the whole idea is that I go towards exploring and regaining my own power. Okay. सेल्फ को इम्प्रूव अपने सेल्फ से कनेक्ट करना पड़ेगा. आप अपने आप ही इम्प्रूव हो जाएंगे, इम्प्रूव्ड ही हैं. You need to connect with your real self, which is already improved. Anything else before we just move forward? ठीक है. Any questions? No questions? Okay. ठीक है. So we will just have few moments of meditation and I move forward. So when I say I am a soul, I am not the body. It's not that I think that I am a body. तो ना सोचते हैं. How I identify with myself, I identify with my either the body or the things around me. So I need to detach from that when I sit. The second thing, I connect with my role, what I do, and what are my relationships. So my role is also soul conscious or body conscious? It is body conscious. So the moment I detach from it, I'm able to do better actually. If I'm totally involved, it's great. लेकिन एक कॉन्सेप्ट होता है डिटैच्ड इन्वॉल्वमेंट. डिटैच्ड इन्वॉल्वमेंट का मतलब क्या होता है? व्हेन आई डिटैच and I connect myself as a soul and then I get involved in the activities. Right? So I am doing my role, I have relationships, but that's not who I am. And the third part is the story of my life, the events which have happened in my life, the experiences which I've had. So I carry that baggage all the time, maybe right from my childhood to my first job or whatever. Everything is there. And with that, I am functioning. Right? But when I really connect with myself as a soul, I am even, that doesn't define me. This story doesn't define me. I am this pure being which is not defined with whatever has happened, whatever I've done or not done. Okay? And so I simply connect myself as a being of light who has these core qualities always. So I simply have to connect with myself. आपको कहीं बाहर से नहीं लाना है. You're always that. But you need to pause and remind yourself that you are full of peace, full of love. You have the wisdom. Okay? And we will just do a few moments of silence and practice it. Unless you have a comment, a thought to share. Yes. Intellect, sanskar. Actually, sanskar cannot be translated, but it can be said to be impressions or personality resolves. So something which is we do again and again, that's really recorded in us, like an impression. हाँ, संस्कार का इंग्लिश शब्द में आप no, not values. It is personality resolves, impressions. Deeper than that. It is all deeper than, it's part of it. Memory is a part of sanskar. So this is why we use that word only. It's like a register, it records everything. It's an impression. Personality resolves, you can say. Imprints, you can say. Which are deeper than our memory. Anything else? So I want you to just take a moment, and अभी तक जो कुछ आपने सुना है, I want you to just ask yourself and explore how is it going to really have any value in your present life? Is there any value or benefit in your present life of this information and the experience that you've just had? Take a moment and maybe write it on a sheet of paper. Just take 1 minute. जो कुछ भी अभी हमने सुना है, ठीक है, I'm a soul, I'm a being, I have happiness. But how does it help in my life? So take that 1 minute, and see if I apply it, if I use this, if I experience it, where is it and how is it going to have an effect? And if you have a sheet of paper in front of you, it'll be nice to just write that one bullet point. Your diary or paper, whatever, just write it. Write that one bullet point of where do you see the relevance of whatever you've experienced or heard right now in your personal life, in your daily life, individual life. What and how and where. Just write it down in one bullet point. Yeah, yeah. You have not been given a notebook? It should be in the kit. कोई बात नहीं, आप बोल सकते. कोई बात नहीं. You can say if you want, if you would like to, or you can just jot it, type it in your wherever. Put it on your phone if you want. That's okay. Because it's a note for your own self, really. You can jot it in your phone also, in your note, where you generally write your notes. So, what is it that I have really learned or experienced new about myself? And where does it fit in my life? Where is the application? Let's take that one moment. Okay. Anybody would want to share something of one or two people?
It is really going to help me because sometimes I feel my son is disowning me. So really, when I think like this, so it reflects like this. So really, it is going to help in that situation. Secondly, it is also helpful with dealing with the subordinates. As you said, some person comes, then we are getting irritated कि काम नहीं करता काम नहीं करता. तो कन्वर्सेशन और जो शेयरिंग है कि उसकी लाइफ में क्या चल रहा है, हम उसको क्यों ऐसे कर रहे हैं या वो ऐसे परफॉर्म क्यों कर रहा है, तो रियली इट विल हेल्प इन टीम बिल्डिंग एंड उनसे काम लेने में मदद करेगा.
Very nice. Anybody else? One person?
Also it will help in dealing with the seniors also.
Yes, most important.
Sometimes seniors के दिमाग में कुछ और चल रहा होता है, हमारे दिमाग में कुछ और चल रहा होता है.
Yes.
तो वो मैच नहीं हो पाता. तो they will blame us or tag us कि वो तो ऐसा है, वो तो ऐसा है. तो उस समय हम अपने आप को ऐसा बना लें कि भाई
रोज बनाएंगे तो वो बन जाएंगे.
हाँ, कि हम अपने आप से कनेक्ट हो जाएंगे. आप जो भी सोचो हम जैसे हैं वैसे हैं, तो वो शायद हेल्प करेगा.
जरूर.
नहीं होगा उससे.
Correct. And one last, anybody else? Yeah, please.
I thought that, normally there is a tendency of conflict between mind and intellect. By this process, mind and intellect are likely to be in sync. And there are chances of less conflict at the workplace.
You can just repeat. Yeah.
Yeah, we find that there are more chances of conflict between mind and intellect normally in the normal course. But by this process of meditation and thinking, chances are that mind and intellect will be in sync at the same wavelength, and your conflict at the workplace is going to be reduced. And since you are going to be detached, so moreover you will perform positive action and there will be better outcome.
Very nice. Thank you.
As you said, मनमानी नहीं करना, बुद्धिमानी से काम लेना है. So in day-to-day dealings in office or at home, yesterday itself, my father's neighbor called ki the plants are affecting us, so you need to cut. He was so furious. So my daddy handed over the phone to me, and I was aware that I'm coming to Brahmakumari session, so I tried to calm my mount from a day before itself. So I just listened to that fellow very calmly, very quite contrary to what I am. I'm always on the reactive. And I listened to him, and he kept on speaking, and it was miraculous. He himself calmed down, and then I asked him, "You don't love plants?" He said, "No, ma'am." And I go, "Okay, fine. I'll send my gardener. He'll come and cut the trees." The situation diffused instantly. He was so happily accepted that situation. If I had reacted the way you said, you need to use your mind instead of,
The inner mechanism.
Yes. You should not trigger that situation. So I think it will help further if I develop this habit further.
Very nice. Very nice. So we have got this input. We've also got the taste of it. And we know it is applicable. Now, to further go and practice, that you can do. And it's simple, not very difficult. Okay? So just we'll sit in silence for 10 seconds. Just absorb what we've just experienced before we break for lunch. Okay. Okay. Om Shanti. And I think Sister Vidhatri will come and share the next steps. Thank you very much. All the very